Why do you have Randy Jackson's autograph on a martial arts weapon? Because I bumped into him and all I had on me was this samurai sword, and you're not going to get Randy Jackson's autograph, right? I would have done the exact same thing. Welcome to Should You Watch This with a Popcorn Priest, a weekly podcast for movie enthusiasts, current and ex-movie theater projectionists, new and old friends. Take the time to talk about a movie that we just watched and answer that very question, should or shouldn't you watch this? Did we just become best friends? Yup.
When Robert and Nancy became man and wife, their children became stepbrothers.
Hey.
Now,
Brennan, you and Dale are going to have to share a room. Just until the two of you get jobs and you move out.
they're living side by side,
Are you awake? Yeah. I hate your guts. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
working out their differences.
I think they're starting to like each other.
What are you doing? I'm burying you. I'm alive! You're waking the neighbors! Shut up!
And facing new challenges.
You have 1 month to find jobs or you're on your ass.
What? This house is a prison!
Well, Brennan, you certainly have had a lot of jobs.
Thank you. I'm a real self-starter.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Who is this gentleman sitting behind you?
Hello, Ms. Lady.
Unfortunately, there isn't another position available.
We're willing to have sex with you.
Please leave this office.
Do we get any sort of souvenir?
Get out of my office!
From Columbia Pictures,
Nancy and I are retiring. We're putting the house on the market.
Well, what about us?
they'll have to team up
We're not going anywhere. I'm working on a plan.
to hang on to the things they care about most.
As you can see, you got a really awesome front lawn.
I'm getting a really good feeling about
I am so glad.
Welcome to the neighborhood!
The neighbor is a Nazi?
Howdy! Hey, I love the color of your skin.
We're done here.
Yeah.
Stepbrothers,
We did it!
This is how it's doing.
Oh, man. I would like to welcome back to the show my original stepbrother from another mother, Mr. Boats and Holes himself. Welcome back to my blended family. The sack is back.
Boats and hoes. Wow, man. Like, this is one of those where you forget just how good.
I know, dude. I just have to say yes, because you're right.
No, I'm psyched for this one.
All right. The description for this: two aimless middle-aged losers still living at home. I mean, are they losers? I don't think they are.
Yeah. I mean, let's be objective.
Yeah,
here, right?
Yeah, I think they're doing pretty good. Anyway,
Right.
living at home are forced against their will to become roommates when their parents marry. Directed by Adam McKay, director of such hits as both Anchorman's, Step Brothers, obviously, and recently Don't Look Up, which I know you loved so much.
I did not.
No,
That's
you
correct.
did not. I didn't watch it because of your recommendation.
I still haven't finished it.
And I haven't started it. Top billed stars are Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly, Mary Steenburgen. Runtime, a very digestible 1 hour and 38 minutes.
Was that surprising to you?
It did feel, so it's weird. Like sometimes short movies feel short, obviously, and sometimes long movies feel short. But this one felt like, I was like, man, I didn't feel like it was that long. But it was short. It felt, it was awesome. It was the right amount of time.
Correct. But they packed a lot in there.
It was just like, hey, let me give you some jokes on jokes on jokes. And that's what I wanted. Rated R for a riotous good time. Genre on Rotten Tomatoes.
Do you agree with that? Sorry. Do you agree with the R? Is it just because of language?
Yeah, language. Well, and spoiler alert, testicles.
Okay. Fair enough.
I have lots of great trivia and stories about the testicles that I think everyone will want to know, but they're not Will Ferrell's testicles, obviously. But I have lots to tell about the testes.
Okay, I'm excited.
Genre on Rotten Tomatoes says comedy only. And IMDb says comedy only. Correct. Now, here's the thing.
Time.
Why can't we get more of these? Just straight comedies. What was the last truly great comedy? Can you name one?
Yeah, we did Old Dads.
Correct. Which we thought.
Hoping.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And the concept of it, there's just too many snowflakes in this world now. Everybody's offended by something.
Correct. I looked up the top 50 comedies of the 2010s. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
The only thing I could see that could even remotely be considered a comedy like this was Dolomite Is My Name.
No.
The rest of them were not. Of the 50 top comedies of the 10s.
Weren't even sniffing it?
Nothing. I didn't. That's why I put Dolomite Is My Name. And realistically, Dolomite Is My Name is unbelievably great movie. It's very inspirational.
It really is.
It really made me want to be like work harder at my craft. Seeing how Eddie Murphy played that character and how funny it was, but also it was like inspirational to me. So it's not really like a true comedy. It's more like a comedy / autobiography.
It is pretty dang funny though.
But it's very funny. Correct. And arguably, like when that came out, I was like, all right, Eddie Murphy's coming back and I am in for it.
But I like Daddy Daycare. I love those.
Yeah. And people don't like them, but I like them for what they are, and it's good.
Right. Yep. Wholesome, funny. Yep.
And we actually, speaking of Eddie Murphy, we were going to start the Eddie Murphy Beverly Hills Cop series because the fourth one's coming out, and we delayed it so that we can hit it right when the fourth one's coming out. So stay tuned for that. Again, this is going to be great because the SAC has not watched any of them.
I did. Like you would think that I live under a rock or something, but I promise, audience, I've seen a lot of movies.
Yeah, you have. I've seen some with you. Lots of movies with you.
Yeah, a lot together. Right.
But not Beverly Hills Cop. All right. So anyway, the rest are not true comedies, and I'm sad that we have to go back to 2008 and beyond to find like a straight comedy. You know what? And this is not even a comedy really, but I'm looking forward to the new movie called Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. It looks great, but again, it's a mashup of romance, comedy, and action. This is just a comedy, like Ace Ventura. You know, just we're just talking about jokes here.
Would you put Deadpool like in the comedy, or is that still action with comedy?
Yeah, I think there's too much. It's more, I would say it's almost equally a action film than it is a comedy. I would say both. So like Step Brothers, there's some action-y scenes, but not like superheroes and like shooting and guns. It's just like, it's like slapstick, physical humor, which is awesome.
Yeah. I don't understand it. I would love to have some come out. Like there's just, because we've done old school, right? This, like those are elite, like Hangover.
Oh man.
Elite, bro. Elite. Yeah. And there's nothing like that anymore.
No. And there's even movies like, which take it to a new level, the Tropic Thunder, where there's action elements, but they're solely there to make a joke. Like it's
right. Every scene is going to crack a joke.
Yeah, and they might spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on an explosion just for a laugh, and I think that's like we just can't have that anymore, and it's so horrible.
Yeah, that's sad.
All right, speaking of ratings, IMDb gives us a 6.9 out of 10 from 317,000 reviews. Rotten Tomatoes gives us a 55% from 205 critics and 69, ironically, 69 from 250,000 audience ratings.
Really?
Uh-huh.
That's surprising.
It is. At the time of this recording, you can stream this on Netflix or rent or purchase this from your preferred purveyor of digital media. If you choose the highest tier of our Patreon account, you'll have access to the Popcorn Priest permanent collection. Go to patreon.com/Popcorn Priest for details. All right, man. We're here and we're ready.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Popcorn reviews the reviews. What do you want, man?
Switchbacks, and let's start with good first.
All right. These are indicative of the subject matter, so please keep that in mind. Like,
okay,
they're reflective of the movie, which is awesome. All right, The first 10 out of 10. Immature, says Kelly Gaudreau. Immaturity at its best. I love it. Did you love it? If so, I think we just became best friends. 10 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah.
That's it. That's all.
I mean, enough said.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did just become best friends.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Whoever you are, Kelly, whether you're a man, woman, or whatever you choose to identify with, you are my best friend. First 1 out of 10. Grow up, people.
Were these hard to find, by the way?
There weren't a lot, but it's also the extremes, right? The 10s versus the 1s, which I think are funny,
right.
But there were way more 10s than 1s for sure. Grow up, people, says Irvin 282. And in all caps and many exclamation points says, I do not recommend. I wasn't expecting much from this. I did not like Talladega Nights, so I knew I will not like this. I saw it because of the good comments it received here. The film depicts two grown men playing teenagers. Both have a huge parental complex and cannot live in the until... What? It cannot live if the umbilical is broken. The umbilical is broken. Not the umbilical cord, but okay, I got it.
Okay, got it.
They become stepbrothers and their behavior is very predictable. Really? It's predictable? Okay. They hate each other in the beginning and then they start doing the same old pranks on one another. Unfortunately, the jokes and ideas these two grown-up men have used to be funny when I was 12. Putting your balls on a drum set. Giant jokes. And all that tasteless humor is beyond me now. This film took everything to the extreme. You had a bad joke, but that was not enough. It had to be pushed and pushed and pushed until it became so lame that the premise wasn't even funny anymore. 1 out of 10.
What is this guy even talking about? Like, seriously. Like, do you think he has any joy in his life at all? I bet you he doesn't have a single fucking picture hung on any of his walls.
Probably not.
Probably not. Oh, like, you've got to feel bad for this type of person. And Talladega Nights is one that's priceless as well.
It's very good. Unreal.
Okay. All right.
All right. Next 10 out of 10. Ignore any negative comments. I put this purposely next to the other one.
Good call. Thank you.
Says Pahok-e. Pahok-e. Maybe he's like American Indian. I don't know. Drop what you're doing right now and go see this movie. If you don't or didn't like this movie, then you don't get it. This isn't some Oscar-bound tearjerker. This isn't some pseudo-intellectual piece of crap by the latest college dropout turned director. This is brilliant adolescent humor at its best. The team has another hit that rivals Talladega Nights in both its comedy and commentary on everything that's wrong with adults today. If you want to see some lame, low-budget Cannes Film Festival winner about young transvestites in love, this ain't your movie. And there's probably something really wrong with you anyway, so stay out of my local theater. 10 out of 10.
Yes. Yes. Gee, I wonder if he lives somewhere in the South.
Dude.
Wow, he nailed it, huh?
It was great.
Well
yeah, thanks,
well done.
Pahok. You're my best friend.
Man.
I told you
That's
these were
great.
amazing.
But So true. And I wish you would have just said you suck instead of you don't get it.
Yeah. You suck.
I feel if you are able to quote a movie in real life, but not just like one line from it, but you are constantly quoting a movie in your day-to-day life, and everybody around it knows the reference, thinks it's funny, like that is beyond classic. Like that is idol, right? Like this is iconic. This is an iconic comedy movie.
Correct. Like I'm a graphic designer and I work on brands and logos all the time. And whenever there's a brainstorming meeting on brand names or company names, I always say, we could go with Prestige Worldwide. Like I always say it. I just always bring it up.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm always bringing it up as well, so I'm with you.
All right, next 1 out of 10. Literally the least funny film I've ever seen, says Merc GitHub. Literally the least funny film I've ever seen. The whole film is 2 shrieking man children. That's all I can remember. I'd rather pass a kidney stone than watch this again. 1 out of 10. Wow. Unbelievable.
I mean, hyperbolic much? Come on.
I have a great fear of passing a kidney stone ever.
Sure.
And there's
have you ever?
No. But my brother has, and he said it's like the most painful thing a human man can do. Like probably as close as you could ever get to like childbirth, like to know what a woman is going through, which it's still not there. I'm sure the pain is insane, but like it's.
Yeah, you might want to edit that right out.
I'm not. I just said, I qualified. I said it's not the same. I'm just saying it's getting close. Women are the best. We are not the best when it comes to pain.
Right. That's correct. But how can you not possibly find anything in this movie funny? I mean, I'm 5 minutes in and my stomach hurt. It's both highbrow, lowbrow. Like this brings it.
Yeah, and I love that everyone is going hard. Like every single actor, even if they only have 1 or 2 scenes. Like, what's the guy? His brother's like right-hand man, where he's like, pow! That guy, what's his name? Pow, pow!
I love him. Pow!
I just forgot his name, but I
cannot remember his name. Doggone it. But yes, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's in a couple of scenes, but he's going hard, man. And it's everyone's like, we're committed to making this as funny as possible.
To that point, also, it was perfectly cast. Like
yes.
I loved everybody in it. Everybody was they just meshed very well. They played off of each other very well. Rob Riggle,
you're right. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed the cast, even the small ones. Like Seth Rogen has that small appearance that was just really, really funny stuff.
Yeah. All right, where are we at? Are we on a 1 out of 10?
No, we're on a 10 out of 10. Last 10 out of 10.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Last 10 out of 10. This is the greatest film ever made.
Yeah.
Says Anthony John Nolan. 158-926-490. It might be his phone number if you want to give him a call.
Shout out.
I have 3 favorite films of all time. They are as follows in ranking order. Step Brothers, number 1. Schindler's List, number 2. And Gandhi, number 4 or 3.
Oh, God. This is not real.
I need not say any more. 10 out of 10.
Dude, that's amazing.
In ranking order, Schindler's List is 2. Whenever I'm referencing like, hey, this isn't Schindler's List, that's the one I go to, which I think is so funny that Anthony brought that up. It's so great.
Well done. I would honestly put this up there in one of the best movies I've ever seen. As weird as that might sound just coming off the tongue, I actually do mean it. Like it's a movie that I could watch anytime.
I think Old School is more for me, but this is
agreed.
A very close second.
I would actually agree with that. Dumb and Dumber. Also, I think that I could interchange any of those three at any time.
Yeah, Dumb and Dumber's very good as well. Yeah, Ace Ventura, like the first one. We might want to do like, maybe for our next pod, we really think about it, because I don't think we can put ourselves on the spot other than what we just did, but maybe like our top 10 or top 5 comedies of all time, we should create a list.
I would agree with that. I think at some point we just need to have a pod where we're comparing lists.
Yeah, I agree.
And just discussing it out. I think it'd be really cool.
All right, last 1 out of 10. This is great. Step Brothers Review is the title. Says Claire Alexander 197. And I might read it as Claire. Okay?
Okay.
Quite literally, one of the worst movies I have ever seen. I did not even smile while watching the film.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, that's true. I'm slowly losing hope for comedic films as a whole. I refuse to hop on the so stupid it's funny bandwagon. Have writers simply decided they don't want to work on meaningful comedy anymore? I'm not a fan of Will Ferrell movies in general. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
then
go figure.
Then go watch a Will Ferrell movie. Okay, come on, man. But I will admit that I have once or twice chuckled while watching one of his films. This film in particular contains not one redeemable moment. Characters are unrealistic and unlikable. The premise of the film is cringeworthy. I do not plan on ever watching a Will Ferrell movie again. 1 out of 10.
Come on. I don't think Claire has smiled since 2003 anyway. So, like, what are we talking about? These are the people that just, that Claire is the reason why when we started this podcast talking about how these movies don't exist anymore, Claire's the fucking reason. So thank you, Claire. Get fucked. Sorry.
It's I'll allow all the explicit lyrics because I agree 1,000,000%. These are the people that we can't have nice things. Okay, we are to the second most coveted category of the show. Should or shouldn't you watch this? I got 5 reasons, as always, of why you should watch Step Brothers, and then please give me your reasons, Zach. Number 1, if you are easily offended, then this is not for you. Also, I don't want you watching this anyway.
But I still don't see how much there was to be offended by, but okay.
But yeah, like if you're easily offended by anything, like a butterfly flying by, then please just don't watch it. And I don't really...
don't.
Just don't. I don't want you talking about it, commenting about it, watching it, nothing.
I don't even want you talking to me.
Correct.
Even if I need something from you.
Correct.
Nothing.
Yes. If I'm dying in, Death Valley and I need water, I will not ask you for water. I'll just go to sleep and die. Correct. Thank you. Number 2, if you'd like to see some of the most realistic prosthetic testicles, then this is for you.
It's absolutely for you.
Number 3, if you want to have 37 lines to quote with your friends at any point in your life, then this is for you.
All the way for you.
Number 4, if you're having a bad day or week and you're not Claire, this will help you feel better. I just wrote you a prescription. You're welcome.
Yes. Oh, Dr. Fun. What I'm talking about.
And finally, last but not least, if you don't like this movie, I don't think we can be friends. I'm just saying.
I agree. I agree. That's a perfect list. I'll just add one to it.
Perfect.
You and the listeners know how much I love nostalgic movies and nostalgic times. Given everything we've already said about the current state of comedies, this does take you back to when comedy was in its heyday for our generation. So if you want to remember what it used to be like before all the PC police and crap that we've got to deal with now, this is definitely for you.
I would say not even peak. I would say this is where the cliff was, and we don't have anything after this. It just dropped off. So if you want to see like a relic of the time of the past where this was the end, here you go. All right, let's get into by the numbers.
For God's sakes, just give me the damn number!
I don't have a ton, but I have the best of the best. Box office haul. What do you think the budget was for this?
Budget. What year?
2008. And this surprised me, to be honest.
I'd probably say 59 million.
Wow, you're awesome. I thought it would have been like 35, 40 million. Even in 2008. It was 65 million. So you're really close. Yeah. Very good.
I'll take that.
What do you think the domestic box office haul and international box office haul was? This also surprised me.
Combined or separate?
Well, I have both numbers. So whatever you want to do.
I would say domestic probably did, I'd probably say 95 million.
Oh my gosh, dude. 100 million, bro, for domestic.
Wow. Yeah.
And then you tack on
international.
Yeah, tack on the international.
35.
Oh my gosh, dude. 27. You're right on.
Wow, I'm on fire today. It's been a while since I've been on fire.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're back. The sack is back.
Yeah. Sack's back.
So $128 million total. And then this is what I think this is the actual reason. And I've thought about this way too much, but I think this is the reason why we can't have these movies anymore is guess what the domestic, just the US alone, DVD sales for Step Brothers was?
Probably 20 million.
I'm glad you're wrong on this one. 69, again, another 69.
Wow.
$69 million in DVD sales.
Really?
And I've seen an interview with Matt Damon. This guy was talking about, he's like, there's the reason why we can't do movies like this anymore is because we don't have DVD sales. He's like, you could break even at the ticket sales, and then right when you drop the DVD or Blu-ray, that's where you make your money. And it allows you to make more of these types of movies, smaller movies.
Yeah.
And they're just gone. They can't rely on that income anymore, that revenue.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right, I've got 5 numbers for you. Joaquin Phoenix claims to have seen this film more times than any he's ever seen of any other movie.
Yes.
Joaquin Phoenix is now my best friend.
Absolutely. And I've always loved and respected Joaquin Phoenix.
I mean, I didn't always love and respect him, but I do now. I love him. I like him. I like him as an actor, but I thought he was kind of a weirdo.
Yeah, but how much of that is media,
Yeah, probably a lot.
You got to remember these guys are a cabal. And so, if somebody starts to step out of line, they're going to put you in that light. But he's one of the most talented actors I've ever seen. Like there's a movie with him in it called Her, and he's just incredible.
Oh yeah,
I
loved him in Her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, if you thought, what's her name, Scarlett Johansson was beautiful, like just looking at her all the time, just listen to her voice.
Just listen.
Oh man, it's very attractive. All right. Raunchy comedies are often divisive, and Step Brothers is no different. The movie has a 55% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Roger Ebert gave it a 1.5 stars. On the other hand, there's the British Film Institute Sight and Sound poll, which is pretty prestigious. Every 10 years, Sight and Sound does an extensive poll to name the 10 best movies of all time. It's perhaps the most venerated movie list of all time. And they poll directors and famous directors and people to see what their top 10 is, and then they create the list. For the 2012 edition, Australian director Justin Kurzel was one of the film professionals asked to participate. He included Step Brothers in his top 10. He's also my best friend now.
Absolutely. But like I said, I would put this in one of the best movies I've ever seen.
It's really great. The original cut of the film was a whopping 5 hours long.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's just take after take after take of improvising. And obviously they have to just, one scene might have been like 50 takes. So they probably just had all of them in there, and then they just picked the one that they liked the most, right?
We've said this before, but do you think if they added time to this, it would have taken away from it?
Yeah, here's my thing. Like, if you look up, it's the best thing you'll do today. If you go on YouTube and watch the Step Brothers bloopers and outtakes, like, you just thank me, because you're going to go back to it over and over and over in your life. Like,
okay.
You're just going to, there's certain clips, there's between 8 minutes, 10 minutes, but it's like the best 10 minutes of your life. So, but like, if I got maybe like a Step Brothers extended cut where maybe it was like 2.5 hours, and I got to spend more time knowing that it's like you said, it takes away from the finished product. We like the 1 hour and 38 minute version, but
right.
Let me just, if I want to, go experience a long cut of this if I want.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
I'm with you.
All right, last trivia point. Brennan's prosthetic testicles cost a certain amount. How much do you think these testes cost to make?
$33,000.
Whoa. No, that's a lot of money. It was $10K.
No, that's a lot of money too. Though.
I know, like $10,000 for just, because it's only the sack.
It's only in there for like 3 seconds.
It is, yeah. And some guy in a room for hours is like taking these little tweezers and like pressing in pubic hair into these testes one at a time.
Dude, I gotta know. Like, why not just use an actual sack?
Well, the problem is maybe Will Ferrell's isn't distended enough to get it like out as far out as he needed it.
But why not just go around to everybody on set to find the perfect sack and have it rubbed on a drum set, dude?
Okay, well, I got another. I told you I had extensive research about these testes, but
okay.
Will Ferrell was on the Dan Patrick Show, and he told them at the beginning of the show that he brought a special reveal for them. And he has this like bag or box or something, and he pulls it out and he's like, hey, I have this special thing I thought that I would bring because I don't do this. But he's like, I have the testicles from Step Brothers. And he pulls them out, and Dan Patrick's is like, do we have to blur this? And as soon as he's like, yeah, like, don't pull them out. So he hands them to Dan Patrick, and he like opens the box, and he's like, I don't think I can pull these out. They look so real that I think we'll get like censored. But he lets everyone on the show handle his fake balls. And I'm telling you, look it up on YouTube. It will be the best 12 minutes of your life. And okay. Just dovetail it. I would say do the Dan Patrick.
With the bloopers.
Yeah, do the Dan Patrick first, and then hit the bloopers right after, and you're going to have the best day.
Oh, double dog deal.
Yeah. And that's all I have for part 1 this week. Is there anything you want to say before we close and come back next week?
No, I think we're on the right track.
We are. Correct. At this point, there will be spoilers up ahead, so if you want to watch and then come back next week and join us for our breakdown of Prestige Worldwide from 2008. I am on the social medias. I dare you to message the great Popcorn Priest at Popcorn Priest. I love movies and would love it if you'd share the love. Share this with the movie lover in your life. Or anyone except people who don't like Step Brothers, I guess. Maybe don't share it with them. But please, it helps us. Also, if you want to send us money, that's also a great way to support the show. Go to patreon.com/Popcorn Priest and see what extra perks you can enjoy. And lastly, the easiest way to support the show and the most free is like and subscribe and giving us a 5-star review. Almost as easy as pulling your prosthetic testicles out and rubbing them all over a article of furniture in your house. And thanks to my special guest, my reoccurring guest, the one and only Sack Lunch. Always a pleasure, my man.
Man, I'm glad you stuck with me. I know that we had some scheduling conflicts to make this happen. Looking forward to next week.
Yeah, for sure. Join us next week for part 2 of Did We Just Become Best Friends? For 2008. We'll see you guys next week.